What if I told you that every time you check your bank account or just think about retirement, you're actually plugging into a hidden global system, a system where you're playing a role you probably never, ever imagined? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that role and figure out what it really means for your money.
So let me just ask you straight up, are you a global lender?
Now, your first reaction is probably, no way, I'm not some huge international bank or a foreign government. But what if the answer is hiding in plain sight? If you have a pension, a 401k, or even just a regular old bank account,
Well, then the answer is almost certainly yes. You, personally. You are part of this enormous, invisible web of creditors that is literally financing governments. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how that works.
this brings us to one of the biggest questions you hear about in finance. Who exactly owns all of the U.S. national debt? I can pretty much guarantee the answer is not what you're thinking. We hear about it in the news all the time, right? Foreign countries holding U.S. debt. But let's actually look at the real numbers. Who does the United States government truly owe the most money to?
You're probably looking at this chart for a country's name, but check out that biggest slice of the pie. It's a whopping 43%, and it's labeled domestic holders. That's right, the single largest creditor to the U.S. government is, well, it's Americans.
So, who are these domestic holders anyway? It's not one rich guy. It's the collection of institutions that manage our money. We're talking about the pension funds for our retirement, the Social Security Trust Fund, the banks and credit unions where we stash our cash, even those savings bonds you might have gotten as a gift. All of these places are buying up government debt.
Okay, so we've established the who. It's us. Now let's get into the how. How does the money you're saving for your future end up funding the government? It all happens through this invisible connection that turns your savings into a government IOU.
The whole system really hinges on one simple idea, something called a safe asset. Think of it like a financial fortress, the most secure vault in the world to park your money. It's an investment with almost zero risk of just vanishing. And for decades, the ultimate safe asset has been U.S. government debt, also known as Treasury bonds. And this is where it gets really clever. It's all about perspective. To the government, a bond is a debt. It's an IOU that it has to pay back, with interest. But to your pension fund, that very same bond is a super valuable asset. It's a rock-solid investment that earns a steady return. They are literally two sides of the exact same financial coin.
Let's just follow the money for a second. It's a pretty simple cycle. Step 1, you save money, putting it in a pension or a bank. Step 2, that institution takes your money and buys those safe asset government bonds. Step 3, the government uses that cash for, well, everything. And step 4, the government pays interest back to your pension fund, which helps your savings grow. It's this powerful, continuous loop that directly connects your bank account to the national debt. Okay, so why is this so important to understand? Why does this matter? Because this entire global system, the one that quietly supports your retirement, your savings, everything, it's all built on one single crucial foundation. There's a quote from our source material that just says it perfectly. This invisible debt architecture supports our daily financial lives. This isn't just some abstract idea for economists to debate. This is the bedrock of our own personal financial stability. So here's the bottom line. The stability of your pension, your savings, your 401k, pretty much all of it depends on the government's promise to pay its debts. That promise is the magic ingredient that turns a piece of paper, a bond, into a safe asset. And that leaves us with a pretty staggering realization. Our financial security, our future, it's all woven into a global system built entirely on a single promise. And that leads to the final, critical question that maybe we should all be asking. What happens if that promise is ever broken?